Welcome back to the OCE Champs League Play 1. My name's Hysterics, Yummy Cheese Man, and this is Courier at the end of the desk. And we are about to jump into maybe a more predicament of a series. This is Legacy taking on Retirement Home, and Retirement Home are just like a surprising individual team.
This is like the most disciplined team up against the least disciplined team. Retirement Home kind of just formed, threw it together. They don't do a lot of practice, but they're still a fantastic team.
I was so confused when you started, like, this team's so disciplined. I'm like, what? Retirement? Like, oh, no, the other one.
Yeah,
that makes way more sense.
The ones that are actually disciplined.
Yeah, the ones that actually work real hard.
So.
But yeah, no, Retirement Homes, I'm excited to watch them. I always love watching their game because you can know what's going through their head whilst they're playing, and you can like just feel like the low-key toxicity coming off their players.
Wow.
They're going to be playing this. I don't know if they really want to win or if they want to make Legacy lose. They're going to have expectations of making it into that top 6, potentially making it into that top 4 like they did last season.
Yeah, they're good enough.
But they still probably just want Legacy to lose.
But
yeah,
with
crush the dream.
With Retirement Home, it's undisciplined, but there's a lot of passion there, and I think, well, a lot about having fun, and I think that's the thing I respect most.
It really does boost their confidence and allows them to play a clean playstyle without any hesitation because they're just there playing their game and they don't worry too much about trying not to lose.
Yeah, there's none of that mental stress that all the other teams have. It's like, oh god, we're behind. Like, how do we catch up?
Yeah.
And then they're like, woo! Like, it doesn't really matter what they do. They're just going to have a great time. And they know they're good enough. It's cool.
But however, the one change we've seen with Retirement Home is the fact that when we don't see them disciplined, we see, okay, well, what's going on? A bit loosey-goosey and maybe a bit too loosey-goosey when you go up against a team that's disciplined like Legacy.
They fit in really well because Daze, again, is very aggressive. He stays forward, and Elusive and Kia fit really well in with that.
Yeah, they're supportive players. We saw both of them playing on the top teams at the time as supporting players in the roster who rotate really cleanly, and that's why they can get away with no practice. If you pick two other players to just kind of mash into a team with an aggressive person, you end up with a team that's more like Legs Are Silly, where you have a competition between the internal players, but on this, they just kind of work.
That being said, Siki has really stepped up this season, Cyrix as well, and coming off that last series, Legacy look like a team that aren't just contending for top 4, aren't just a contender, but they could take down the Chiefs, they could be a top 2 team.
Yeah, this is not a good time to be versing Retirement Home goofballing, because I think Legacy may take this one.
Discipline versus undisciplined, we always ask this question, and they've faced off against each other in the gauntlet. However, this is League Play Week 1 Career, and how do you think they fare? Or what team, I should ask, are you going to back?
I'm going to back Legacy. It's a hard one for me, because I actually really like Retirement Home's players, but I've always had a soft spot for the old Avant roster, but I think I'm going to have to give it to Legacy.
Well, in the terms of discipline versus fun, I mean, obviously everyone wants to back the fun team.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I will like being correct in my predictions, so I'm going with Legacy as well.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on that train. It's too often that I've been wrong, and Legacy Esports, for me, have just come through a 3-0, and I'm a big, firm believer in morale and confidence. That right there was a big confidence boost. And Retirement Home, I think sometimes they're a bit too relaxed. That's just my opinion, speaking from a goofball myself.
I think you're right. I think, especially when you look at Legacy, I think they're a team that is affected by morale a lot. Like, you watch Cyrix at LAN, and when he falls behind, like, you can see it on his face that he's feeling defeated, and then it affects his play.
It really does, but we'll have to find out. Cyrix has to get over that. Cyrix needs to figure out how to get through, and this is his season to shine.
Well, Retirement Home taking on Legacy Esports. It's going to be a tight series, but already you can see that Elusive pushing through. Cyrix right back, and looks like a much faster game than we saw last game. Already Cyrix getting the ball around, and Legacy Esports getting a quick demolition. What does it result in? Tight angle and a quick save.
Retirement Home's been tested on the defense, but they've answered in kind. Just able to hold out, figure things out, as Legacy again. It's like a spelling bee at this point. Retirement Home having to answer question after question.
Can't just get the letters right. Retirement Home going to get the full word. Key up off the side now. Cyrix is coming through. This is a good read. Actually goes all the way back to Siki. Who does he pass to? To himself. Gets it away from Daze. Daze actually moving off the Batmobile back into that Octane. Now setting it up. Retirement Home in front of net. Minute has passed.
We always see Siki. He's so looking forward to the aggression all the time. Always hanging up the pitch. He's kind of the Days equivalent for Legacy Esports that allows them to get these quick turnarounds.
That wasn't a big enough clear. This opens things up for Delusion, but Retirement Home eventually recovering, are able to get this set up. This is Legacy Esports coming in hot. And now for Delusion. Waiting back. Days gets there first. Good passing play over to Elusive. They're able to center it. Key is waiting in front of net.
Fantastic positioning by Retirement Home. You saw the 1-2-3 play happening all the way from the beginning. You knew that was going to happen. And if they can keep doing stuff like that, they'll be able to break this tough Legacy Esports defense.
Much faster hit, so yummy, and you can see that pressure's being applied both sides. Kia now going through. Retirement Home, they send up Days. Elusive waiting. That's Demolition onto Sirix. And Siki can't go any further. Pass back to Kia. It's not actually touched, and it'll be Elusive has to deal with it. Doesn't open anything up. Legacy Esports still trying to come in. 3 minutes left remaining.
Even if Days doesn't really achieve much on that ball going up for it from in front, he always puts the Legacy Esports team into a pressured situation where now they have to rush their shots.
Seeing what happens as a result of that. That's a good pass, slow and steady. Delusion. Two members blocking that ball, sending it away. Retirement Home, they're able to get this big clear, and look at this. The tempo has shifted immediately so. From this corner, Siki doesn't get it. Great center, and the first goal's by Elusive.
And what a setup by Days. So unpredictable off the wall with the follow-up pass. Getting it behind the entire defense, and then still having the peace of mind to go for that demolition or go for that bump. What a play by Days.
When you have a team that's been together now through 2 seasons, you start going past the point of, yeah, they're jokes, they're just kind of doing their thing. Now they've been together that long and they've started getting results, you can see why. Sirix, maybe not Legacy, they're back on the board.
Good patience behind the ball, pops it up and just follows it gracefully through the air, knowing that Days was not in the best position to defend it, and if he was, Sirix still had the 50-50.
It's a great pass as well. Legacy Esports back on the board. Retirement Home looking quite strong, however. 1 apiece. 2 minutes 20 remaining. Going to be a tight series henceforth. Here, the pinch off the side. Siki not in the right position. Leaves it for Delusion. Big clear. Yeah, be able to recover this boost. Sirix waits midfield. Siki now from this corner. Not actually moving. Oh no, not again. I think Siki, no, he's back now. Actually back in the nick of time, I should say. Elusive drops the ball in front of net. Delusion back. Sirix rotates as well on the defensive Legacy Esports.
Just goes to show what the Australian internet's like. This is going to go in. Delusion firing that one through and just beating out everyone on the Retirement Home defense who had pushed up. Days, as usual, looking to go aggressive, and Delusion just beating him out, being too fast.
So Legacy up 1, an unfortunate touch that was coming from Elusive there. Sets things up, and Legacy now in a more comfortable position. Off the corner, Siki, this is going to jump in front of net. Days there with a light touch. Elusive now going for the dribble. Delusion backs up into it. Sirix off the wall. This is going to be center, but no one from Retirement Home. You got a bit of time. Siki fakes it over, and now Delusion for the dribble. At the center, Demolition. It'll slow things down. Days right in midfield. Kia will be able to get a banger or a setup. Elusive, he pushes forward, so it's up to Days. Minute 15 remaining. Days and Elusive come up the side of the field. Sirix gets the ball first, and look how fast he's playing. Legacy Esports are trying to steal the ball back away from this corner. Delusion bumped out of the way, and Elusive, he's coming in. He's waiting in the center field. This is up for Days, up for Elusive. Sorry, it's in front of net. The shot, so close.
Very clever by Elusive, able to follow that as well. The read off that top corner is very difficult to do. Just ever so slightly eluded his grasp.
45 seconds remaining. Retirement Home back in the defensive, not where they want to be. Siki over to Sirix. Has to drop it. 40 seconds. It's a big shot off the side of the wall. Now centered up. Legacy Esports in a good position. Elusive has to get it the heck out of here. Dodges away from the demolition from Siki. Delusion brings it back on the backboard. Denied away into this corner once more. Sirix, solo play, gets it through Kia. It's taken away. Siki with the angle. And that'll lock things in for Legacy Esports.
Yeah, Siki always goes in for those. He reads them perfectly, knows where Elusive is getting the touch, and manages to find a really difficult angle.
This is Legacy Esports in a great position. and in such good form, I may add. Retirement Home are putting up such a good fight, but Legacy, I just feel, are really proving they're a top 4, a top 3 team even.
It really goes to show why this discipline is important and what the difference is, because Rocket League is a battle of percentages. And in this case, it's a small percentage. What they're doing is Legacy Esports are backing each other up. They know exactly where their teammate is going to touch the ball before they touch it, which is allowing them to beat out their opponents, get into positions like that where they're getting those open nets.
Yeah, I feel like I'd love to sit down and listen to the comms of Legacy Esports, because the communication seems to be there and it seems to be so precise the majority of the time. Retirement Home, however, had some explosive plays, and that one goal was an example of maybe what Retirement Home can add to this series.
That one goal was a masterpiece coming out from Daze, and Elusive, knowing what Daze can achieve, was in the right position to follow it up. And that's just knowing that Daze is always going to do that. But then you also saw the sort of kickback with Daze in the midfield. He pushed up off his teammate's pass in that center field, in a position where he really shouldn't have been. He was too aggressive, and he got bitten by a big delusion shot straight past him.
Bug, a big delusion bug. And what's bugging me is that Daze is not maybe all the way up as we've seen in the past, where maybe Elusive and Kia take a bit of a backseat.
To a degree, I thought Elusive was quite aggressive, but Kia still holding back and playing maybe even more of a third man role than previously. But Daze didn't quite have the huge effect against Legacy because they were ready for it.
Like he did in the OCE Open Series, and what we've seen in the past from Retirement Home, where Daze has been the star player, or really the star scorer as well.
I wouldn't personally, for my tastes, I wouldn't call Daze the star player, but he's had huge offensive performances. He gets so many goals for this team, and it shows that if he's not there, they're not able to score as often.
So the support coming through Retirement Home, they've been scored against, though. That's Sicky.
A real rough start for Retirement Home here. Very difficult, and I have to say, obviously, Legacy Esports are going to be happy with this, taking down their old teammate Elusive, who kind of left them for greener pastures. Doesn't look so green now.
Grass is always greener on the other side, that's what they say, but you get there and ain't no grass at all. Retirement Home down 1, and Legacy Esports kick off strong. So in game 2, look at this, already the setup. Very proactive. Legacy Esports know where they're going to be. That's what you said, Yummy. And they're just reading these plays so damn well.
They just follow each other, and the prediction skills, so good.
Delusion now centering the ball over to Sirix. Taken away by Kia. Delusion up for it. Who's rotating? This is Daze. Sends it all the way downfield. Sirix is up for it, but he doesn't hit it. In comes Daze again. It goes over the top of him.
Kia just went for 2 hyper-aggressive bumps. They weren't even in attack, and Kia opened up the nets. They still weren't able to finish it off, as, of course, there's 3 players on the Legacy team.
And now Delusion has set it up for Sirix. Great angle again, Legacy Esports. They're taking charge of this series.
That angle was brilliant, just to get that behind the Retirement Home defense. There was no way Kia was thinking that's going in the left-hand side of net. And Sirix gets around it and flicks it just past him.
Have I mentioned that I like seeing Sirix in the spotlight? I like seeing Sirix, Sicky working together.
He's really moved up into attack. He's found a new position, allowed by Delusion, the rookie, coming in and having the biggest effect on this team.
Delusion, someone have to see, that's a big pinch. It's actually sent to the side. Sicky, a great save as well.
He's got such good reactions.
Because that was that was the fastest pinch I've seen in a very long time. Sirix over to the side, Delusion now setting up Legacy Esports, taking firm control. Sicky's here as well. Great save by Kia, but the 3 minutes 30 remaining, 2-goal lead continues to harass the minds of Retirement Home.
We have to remember we were talking about Chiefs being on the top and those 3 contending teams sitting just below them, including Legacy Esports. Right now, they're putting on a showing that they could be the top contenders.
Definitely
Number
could
2.
be. Because remember, Darksided, they didn't get a clean 3-0 as well. Legacy Esports fighting some hard opponents.
Retirement Home, we were thinking that they were the team just outside of those contenders. They were close to that 5th position, who could have caused some upsets. Well, Legacy are just shutting them down.
Definitely, time's running out for Retirement Home in game 2. Sirix around this corner. He'll get it away from Elusive. Daze is there. It's a good touching pass up to himself again. Siki stays on the defense. Going to have to read the ball down. Kia from this corner. It'll angle towards that net. It's sent away. Daze with the shot.
That is Daze predicting the defense so well. This is Daze stepping up, and if he can continue that, they'll be able to return in this game. So they returned that ball straight into the net.
Set up nicely. Retirement Home now back into this. 1 goal separates them. And when Retirement Home find their tempo, that's what you want to see. It goes in again. It's not good.
Defensive mistake from Legacy Esports, but straight off the kickoff, they have a kickoff strategy. Kia executed it perfectly, almost barring down. Went in off the defender, and they've tied up the game.
So now this is not as comfortable as you once thought.
We'd almost ruled them out.
I think we were at that point. Retirement Home coming in strong. That's a demolition onto Sirix. Siki just has to get it out of there, but the ball, it's going to jump in front of net, and Daze had an opportunity. Siki sending it away again. Great defense. But now Legacy Esports have to push it upfield. They had a big lead, and they've all of a sudden lost it. 2 minutes left remaining.
You see why Daze is so important to his attack. The fact that he went for the dish there is the reason why he's so unpredictable, because the Legacy team thought he was going for the pass.
He's got another opportunity here there with the shot. Defended well by Siki. He clears it out and leaves it for Sirix. Sirix now up the ball. Delusion up over to Sirix again. Siki hangs back. Playing it safe. Legacy Esports giving a Retirement Home room to breathe. The demolition doesn't come through. It wasn't a bumper either.
He is being really aggressive with these bumps. He's going right out of his way, and that's forcing Legacy into really difficult situations, and Kia is the one in the end to come through.
With a big lead now, I mean, when you come back 3 goals and push yourself into a comfortable position, Retirement Home starting to really switch on.
Those bumps by Kia, he's just going so aggressive with them. He's willing to go and do it while the rest of his team is still in defense, and Legacy don't know how to deal with it.
Kia up again. Legacy struggling now to assert their dominance. A minute 15. Up for the ball. Retirement Home. Sirix is trying to bully them out. Getting down the side of the field. Minute 5 remaining. Siki hanging around this wing. Delusion hangs back as well. Great save, but it's still down this side. Shot on net. Kia back in time. Sirix, Delusion coming in. Misses the ball. Elusive around this corner. Siki's still down here. Sirix is up. The ball has slipped past. Sirix now has to play it from around this corner. The wrong side, in fact. Siki getting the speed on the ball. Now able to follow it through. Someone's up, but it hits the backboard. Sirix is there. This is what we're talking about from Legacy.
This is a huge play. They put all of Retirement Home on the back foot, got it to a backboard situation, and still went for that pass. Sirix could have taken the shot, went high, Delusion had full boost, and took advantage.
Their ability to adapt on the fly. Legacy Esports have shown it time and time again. Now at a 3-all with 30 seconds remaining. Suddenly they feel comfortable again. Suddenly they look like Legacy Esports, who we've come to know and love over the past couple of months.
We're still seeing Elusive make these big plays that'll take out a couple of Legacy members. We're still seeing the attacks come through, but it's just not quite getting finished off.
Up the field, the ball goes down this left-hand wing. Sirix regains control. This is important. He has no boost. There is no major boost there either. He's actually just picked it up. 5 seconds remaining. Up for the ball he goes. It goes over the top. It's going to hit the backboard. It gets sent away. Now bounces up off the ramp. Coming through, that was Retirement Home. The shot's there, but denied. We go into overtime.
We've got our overtime. Retirement Home making the comeback in this game and finally looking like that team that could enter the top 4.
Daze doesn't get it away. Retirement Home. How much further can they go? 1 game taken. The backboard. It's not pressured, but it is by Retirement Home. Sent away. Delusion. He'll follow it up this wall. Kia will get a good position for Elusive, but Elusive goes in. Kia, a bit slow to come back. Delusion waiting for the ball as Siki goes in. 3 members back. 30 seconds into overtime. Retirement Home. The ball's actually going over the top of Sirix. Siki comes back. Demolition. That goes on to Daze. Up for the ball. That was Kia. Daze back up and alive.
Both of these teams full of experienced players, and I think even Retirement Home the advantage in that, with the ability to potentially play this overtime better than Legacy Esports.
It feels like they're staying a long time in this side of the field. Days playing with his time. Delusion Cyrix. Cyrix winning it. Kia now going to hit the backboard. It's free. Retirement Home unable to solidify that goal. Minute into overtime. Siki around the corner. It's the difference between getting comfortable. Siki. He's gone up for the ball, but he hasn't gotten anything from it. Will pick up the boost. Delusion, massive clear with the help of Retirement Home. Sent all the way back by Days. In comes Kia, the backboard. Now pressured up. Good touch by Siki.
That was clutch because he was in front of the ball. Both his teammates had already gone, and he had to get a touch to it. A very difficult one to make, but you can rely on Siki to get those.
It's a big touch from Cyrix, actually. It's going to set it up. Cyrix comes around the side. He picks up the boost alongside with him. Legacy Esports are trying to center it. Kia, big clear. Getting the pressure back onto Legacy Esports side of the field. The demolition. But the ball's already cleared away. Delusion's in for it. Kia ready to push up. This is Days. The solo play. Elusive came close.
You can see the difference right now. Retirement Home playing so aggressive, just looking to put shots on and prevent Legacy from getting into the attack.
Around this corner, the demolition. This goes on to Kia. Cyrix will see that he's back up and available. Another demolition. That was from Delusion. They're trying to break the defense, and in position is Siki. Take it away. A close call. Kia. These bumps are making magic for Retirement Home. And now the pass to center. Days has the opening, but it's saved by Cyrix.
What a read by Cyrix. The pre-jump coming out, and he found exactly where it was getting flicked. Both of them holding on by so close right now.
Cyrix keeping it in this corner. That's what's going to make this game go on a little bit longer. Elusive coming around the ramp in Siki. The angle was just right, but Cyrix is another brick wall. Legacy Esports 2-minute 50 into overtime. Cyrix has the shot. Saved away. That's Days. Elusive off the side. A demolition. What can it change? For Days not being in the game, he has to recover. Delusion sets it up. Legacy Esports, the passing play, the preciseness, the ability to adapt on the fly. Now for Days, he comes in off the side. It is so back and forth, but the demolition maybe changes things up. Not this time.
This is the derby. Both teams really looking to get each other out of the net and try and open something up. Will it be a mistake, or will it be a demolition that ends this game?
How does this pace change? How does the game develop from here? 3 minutes 30, maybe going into a second game. And it is only game 2, folks. 3 minutes 30, the ball in front of net. Retirement Home. Elusive had it.
How clutch has Cyrix been? That's his third save in this overtime, getting it past as the last defender, but he's still not doing enough. He needs to get this ball out of there.
Someone has to break. Elusive was ready in position again. Cyrix is up here, pops it through. Legacy Esports. Can they get it away? Can Retirement Home take game 2? They definitely deserve the win. That's a big pinch. Going to be right in front of net. It's brought all the way back. Siki's up. Cyrix hits it up to the roof.
These bumps are insane. These challenges are ridiculous. Neither team feel like they can really get a hold of the ball and keep possession for any amount of time.
Cyrix, he's pushing up with the ball. Both teams playing it safer than usual. The pangs of overtime. Cyrix pulling back. Delusion's up for the ball. Days and Kia's there, but it's dropped in front of net. Days getting it away. There's going to be a pass up to Kia. He wins it over to the corner. Kia waiting patiently. The solo play. Delusion. He hasn't won it. Cyrix again gets it out of there.
Number 4 for Cyrix. He's kept them in. They're still going. How are there that many people on the pitch to make so many saves?
Delusion up the field. Days with a soft jab over to Kia. They bring the ball all the way back down to Legacy Esports side of the field. 5 minutes into overtime. We're into game 3. Elusive has to get back. Days gets it away. He's running out of boost though. And Siki, Delusion around the corner. They wait. 5 minutes now. Delusion, he set it up. There's the shot, but it's denied away again.
It feels like there's just too much going on in this match. Both of them just desperate at this point in time. And who can hold out for the longest amount? Who can make as many clutch plays as possible?
Elusive just trying to get the ball out of there, and Siki will now get the big clear to follow suit. 5 minutes 30. Cyrix going to be in position. Denied. That's perfect from Days. Retirement Home holding on so damn hard. In fact, they're aggressing. They're getting shots. Delusion sets it up. Here comes Cyrix. The backboard remains touched by Elusive.
I love this. It's risks from Retirement Home.
There it
and
is.
This is open. No! It hits the side post. Come on. Finish it off. It's 5 minutes and 50 seconds and still doesn't look like a goal.
But Elusive has missed that shot. Kia will recover it. Where is Legacy Esports? They've sent it back downfield. It's going to touch in front of Roof. Xerix is there. The pressure continues to amount. Delusion will get it back upfield. 6 minutes 10 coming through. Delusion hasn't found the touch. Kia's around the corner. Siki's come up as well. The aggressiveness. Legacy Esports have got the shot, but saved by Elusive. Delusion comes down. The backboard hasn't been touched. Here comes Siki. The angle was right, but Elusive blocks it again.
Another save. Elusive on the other side. It's Xerix versus Elusive in the defensive halves, and neither of them able to make any mistakes.
This is a tense game. Both teams really putting on the pressure. A light touch. In comes Elusive again. Kia brings it back on down. Siki playing with the angles with Xerix up this left-hand wing. The ball seems to follow. Almost 7 minutes into overtime. League play week 1. A slow ball from Kia. Playing it very, very dangerously. Kia will follow the ball down. Siki now centering it, but there's Days. The shot saved by Delusion, and the stats keep on piling up.
You can see the nerves piling up. You can see mental fortitude really coming into play.
Days!
Shot! No, it's the cross post again.
Oh, it's out!
Days again. Cannot get that. Elusive. Just finish it. Get the goal in. It's out, and Days should be able to clean that one up.
Sends it back over to Elusive. 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Dare I say the best OCE overtime in history. Xerix is here. The ball sent back down. Delusion pops it up. In comes Kia once more. The ball goes over the top of him. Legacy Esports have got the angle.
wide
It hits
again.
the side. Days. He'll clear it the heck out of there. Almost 8 minutes into overtime. Now Retirement Home off the corner. They send it around again. Kia waiting back. New tactics to be trialed in this 8-minute overtime. Almost 2 games worth. Elusive clearing out the ball again. We've hit the 8-minute mark.
As the nerves build up, neither team is looking for the moves.
Oh, he's got it!
But Days off the top corner manages to finish it off with a brilliant goal.
8 minutes, 5-second overtime. Goes for the double tap. Lands it. And what a way to finish the overtime.
What a read from Days. 8 minutes and 5 seconds of some of the most intense Rocket League we have seen. Retirement Home over the top of Legacy. A massive, massive, monumental effort.
Look at the scores. I mean, there were so many shots on
That's
goal.
actually a record. 720 points is not just a record in the OCE Championship. Across all league history, Throwdown, that is a record.
And he deserves it to find that
You know
goal.
who held the old record? Days.
What, really?
Yes. Last season, he had 670 points.
Wow.
Now he's beaten that by an extra 50 points. And you can really see why these teams are so good while they're contending for that top spot. They were able to hold out for almost 9 minutes.
Take his righteous place. 8 minutes, 5 seconds in that
There you go.
overtime. One of the longest overtimes we've had, I guess.
I think it is
longest.
the longest overtime here in Oceania.
I cannot believe that Retirement Home found their way. There was a close shot that hit the crossbar, bounced up and down, and found its way out by just that much.
And there were 2 opportunities for Legacy as well that came off the side post. So it was 2 opportunities each. Legacy are going to be kicking themselves because they had the chance, but whoever was the slightly more accurate ended up coming out ahead.
And after 8 minutes of overtime, these players are going to be exhausted. And let's be honest, Legacy...
How do you play the rest of this series? You've already played almost 3 games in the one.
Retirement Home, they've come back strong. It's 1 apiece. You thought you were in Game 4. It is only Game 3, folks. And welcome back.
I wonder if the question is, are they going to be able to find their old play style and go back to what was a high-scoring affair with aggressive plays, or does it continue on? Does it become a 0 apiece game?
Well, Retirement Home, they've already started off strong. They've brought it down the other side of the field. 1 apiece for each of these teams. Legacy, you can see how tight our league play really is. At the moment, Elusive coming up for the ball. Over the side, Delusion hangs back. Siki, he's gone a bit far forward. Elusive tries to set it up, but this is an opportunity. Retirement Home looking for the dribble in, and they might find it. I think that's Kia, but instead the ball gets sent away.
Kia almost ground that through, but Legacy Esports, they have that backup. They know how it's going to go through, and they always have someone to plug the gap.
Great center, great setup from Delusion. Save from Elusive again, and if anything, this has pepped up both teams. Only a minute has passed, still 0-0. Siki dodging away from that demolition. Kia angling it from the wall, sent away by Delusion. Another moment to praise the communication of Legacy Esports. Gets centered through. Delusion now off the side, tries to read it. It's going to come off the wall, sent all the way away by Cyrix.
You really see Delusion goes for a lot of those aggressive, risky challenges, but he never puts himself in a position where he can't quickly recover and get back into the game.
Delusion now playing slow. He's gotten it past both. That is the calmness of a rookie player.
The solo play coming out, and this is Delusion's specialty. He loves the dribbles. He wants to have the best ground game in OCE, and that's a great start.
Called him a rookie. I shouldn't.
He's still a rookie. He's a rookie to the OCE Championship, but he's stepping up as a great player.
He really is. And a moment like that where you see Delusion taking the proactive step. 1-0 for Legacy Esports. And this overtime doesn't seem to have disheartened them at all. This is the bonus about Legacy. They can always get on the front foot, even if they've had something as exhausting as 8-minute overtime.
It's part of their discipline style. They never, ever give up. Even when they're 4 goals behind and 1 minute left, they'll still be trying to win.
Delusion sends himself up for the ball, and Retirement Home still showing these big signs of life. Kia angling it in. Gets blocked. Elusive with the shot. Siki and Delusion, they run into each other a bit, but again, no disheartening. Delusion actually fakes for the ball, bumps out of the way. It's angled in. Legacy with the mind games.
What an angle by Siki as well, putting that through. The bump on Days really helped out, but just getting that behind the defense. And that's not the first shot like that Siki's made today.
It's honestly, Legacy Esports, even after that huge overtime, they're impressing us, and his consistency continues to shine through. Delusion as he pushes up. Siki's now waiting in position. Days gets the clear away, and Siki, Cyrix both changing between this defense. So we talk about their rotations as well and their discipline, but we talk about that throughout. 2 minutes 30. Elusive now setting up. Days there with the angle. Here comes Kia. It's not been sent. Unfortunately, it's been cleared away. Retirement Home now on the defensive. Elusive getting the clear away, and that's really important here. Retirement Home have 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining.
It's really no surprise that Legacy Esports is still able to play so well after such a long overtime. I mean, we saw them in the OC Open Series Gauntlet where they made a huge run. They have that mental fortitude.
Delusion, sorry. Try and pace with the ball. Elusive gets it taken away. Retirement Home reacting well to these clears. Days gets the pinch going on and sends around to the corner. Delusion rotates back in. Cyrix now here as well. Off the corner, Legacy Esports still on the defensive. Don't think it really matters for them right now. Cyrix sending it away. But how defensive Cyrix and Siki were. Called the old roster, all they did was defend. Now, explosive team that can really change the pace when they want. The center here from Retirement Home. Been sent away by Legacy.
They used to really rely on Siki to get all those goals just by himself, but now it's a true team effort with Cyrix, but it doesn't matter. Elusive getting that one snuck behind the defense.
The amount of times Elusive has come through, right through that center field, ready for a goal.
I gotta say, Kia has such good 50-50s. He's able to grind it through. We've seen it multiple times just this single game, where he's got it past the defense, and getting it past that time when there was the chance of an open net is what led to the goal.
Set this one up for Days. Up for the ball again. Cyrix and Delusion both go for it. And Legacy Esports, minute remaining. Cyrix off the side. 50 seconds remaining. Off the wall now for Cyrix. As it gets sent through, Retirement Home. Actually haven't found it. Both players go past each other. Now Siki, the ball's going to be centered, and Legacy Esports passing plays here. Elusive's going to have to get it off the backboard, but he doesn't have any boost. Leaves it over for Days. Communication channel still there. Siki with the angle, the shot's in. It's blocked well by Elusive again.
The shot's so good from Siki, but Retirement Home have found a good defensive rotation, something that I think was missing previously in the series. So they've shored it up, and they just need to get a goal in 15 seconds, I might say.
It's going to be a hard challenge for them, but they've found the clear. Delusion going to wait for the boost and wait to pace it back forward. Daze is here as well. Kia waiting on the side. Can we see another overtime? I'm not too sure. Elusive off the wall. Legacy looking to hit it on down, and eventually Legacy will take the lead.
Legacy, they really felt like they took control of that game. Delusion as well had a great game, both in attack and defense. And now, Legacy Esports in a really solid position to take themselves one step closer to making it into those finals.
I mean, what a team for them to be able to go into such a long overtime, as I keep saying, and then have that mental fortitude you talk about to go, it's fine, let's go back to the drawing board, we're back on.
They just really stepped up, and it was their attack. I think in the overtime, they were quite nervous, they were very defensive.
Yeah.
You saw them pinned in their half, and it wasn't just because Retirement Home were playing so aggressive, but also because Legacy were playing more defensive. But they always look so much better when they're taking risks, when they're getting for some big pass plays, getting some cross fields that are inherently slightly risky.
Yeah, exactly right. And now that they're that game ahead, maybe this comfortability will just push them forward to take it out against Retirement Home. However, what we really want to see is that game 5 and maybe some more overtime, because after 8 minutes, you kind of feel like you want more.
Yeah, you kind of, well, they should be able to beat their record, surely. Go for more than 8 minutes.
10-minute overtime.
10-minute overtime. I'm up for it.
I'm down. Enjoyed the 8 minutes of it. However, this is Retirement Home showing us that, I mean, top 4 is still within their grasp. They play like this against maybe Darkside and maybe Chiefs, and we have ourselves a bit of a transition in teams.
It's very likely that they might be able to take down Darksided, considering how they played today.
Yeah.
But Legacy Esports, they have so much pressure on them. One thing is that they don't have their full roster available for the top 6 playoffs, so they're really fighting hard to get into that top 2 straight away, and that is not how to do it.
Elusive has gotten the first goal within a matter of seconds. And like you said, Legacy Esports trying to firm up mistakes like this.
Very quick defensive passes, and you don't expect that from a team like Retirement Home that don't put in the practice. It just shows how good they are and how experienced they are individually.
With that first goal, that's the comfortability that we're talking about, but on the other side, Delusion has set it up again. The corner shot. Trying to get into that top 90, Siki sends it away. But there again.
Just straight back in by Kia, no hesitation, straight in, and just reading the play perfectly.
Now taking it by force, game 4.
Almost Siki right there.
He almost did.
Siki loves getting those dunks into the net, and now Kia has thrown Retirement Home into a big lead.
2-0, 30 seconds have just passed. Legacy, Delusion will take it away. Off the wall now, sets it up for Siki, leaves it over to the side. Daze will follow this one up, but Sirix will get there first. Off the roof, it will bounce on down. In comes Siki, hitting the back wall. The passing play there, but Elusive to interrupt and send it to the other side of the field.
That was really useful because Kia had been almost bumped. He had in a difficult spot, and the clear completely removed all pressure, and now setting it up for Kia.
Damaging it away. They send the ball back down here as well. You saw that block before. Sirix upfield. Siki's following it. Out of boost. He's now going to leave it over to Sirix. The ball sent him away. Delusion. Pass is there, kind of into the future. He's going to wait for it himself. Daze was unable to find the ball just yet. Delusion waiting patiently. 3 members now pushing up the field. Retirement Home. They've pressed the go trigger. And you can see there's the demolition, but they're unable to get possession back of the ball until Daze has something to say about it.
Really clutch by Daze to read that in the midfield because he was the last man back and had to make that touch.
Did. Retirement Home still keep this pressure up. Elusive waiting back. The aggression continues. Daze on the defensive. Key was there, finds the bump. There's the demolition from Delusion, but it's already sent back away. Sirix comes back up for the ball. Daze out of boost. Sirix smacks it in.
Brilliant angle, lots of power. Sirix showing why he was able to get such a big boost in attack this season, because he was able to find those big shots. 123 kph.
1 goal for Legacy Esports. Retirement Home not as safe as they once thought, but it is that mentality we keep coming back to for Legacy Esports. 3 minutes left remaining. Siki sends it upfield, Delusion there. And look at this, Siki in a great position, but taken away by Daze. As Sirix comes back down into this corner. Watch how Legacy pass it upfield. They're on the defensive. They're getting shut out by Retirement Home. But their ability to clear and get it back upfield is quite astounding.
It's because Retirement Home love to pressure you in your own corner and stop you from getting the clears out in the first place. It's building a lot of pressure, but it also commits a lot of the Retirement Home members forward, forcing, say, Kia to be a solo defender.
Siki got it away from Kia. Sirix is now around this corner. Progression continues. Delusion here. Sending it away, Daze. You heard the demolition on the side. That went over to Elusive. Daze has no problems whatsoever. Sirix up for the ball. No one hits it. Elusive will be able to clear it right down the middle field. And sending it away. 2 minutes 10 remaining. Sirix pushing. With Daze now sending it all the way back. Siki's here. Sirix upfield. Legacy Esports still trail by 1. In the center field, this is going to be Sirix. Demolition there. What does this open up? Onto Kia. Delusion getting the bump in the net, and Sirix tries to take it all himself.
Beautiful recovery by Daze. He had to jump over that one. He boosted back down to the ground so that he could recover in time to make the save.
Siki was leaving that one over to Sirix. Sirix now going to try and get the bump onto Elusive. The angle is just right, and they've got it.
Siki in the right spot, set up by Delusion. And that is a big play coming out from Legacy to tie up the game. Just over the top of Elusive. Very difficult position to be left in.
And look at how aggressive Legacy Esports are getting. At 1:30, now they've equalized. And now Retirement Home have lost their early lead. Up for the ball goes Daze. Delusion not going to hit the backboard. They send it away before Delusion busts up in flames. Siki's in here for as well. And this is Legacy pushing their own trigger. Legacy Esports still pushing up. Here we go.
It's become a battle of speed, and so far Legacy are winning that one out with Retirement Home, forcing Daze and Elusive to just reach for those balls, and it might be enough to get it through.
Delusion playing slow in front of Net Yummy, and this is what we've seen. He's so calm. Siki dribbling the ball off the wall. Now on the ramp, Sirix waits. Going to head on back. 2-all, 1 minute remaining. Legacy, suddenly they've started controlling the offense.
It's very good. Legacy not really known for that at the moment. More often setting up a big pass play to get the goal instead of setting up any kind of long pressure.
Slow ball, waiting in front of net. Kia's here. Siki blocking. Delusion now waiting. Siki going over the top of the ball. It's going to be left for Delusion anyway. Elusive might have to jump around the corner for this one, but Delusion still setting it up. Siki there with the angle. The shot's in the corner.
Oh, Siki, you monster. What are these shots coming out? Every single time they're in the top corner, they're up against the post, they crossbar and down. There was no place better for him to shoot. He finds the angle and he takes the lead.
I tell you what, Legacy Esports cannot be dismantled.
They were 2-0 down.
And now they're 1 goal up. 25 seconds left for Retirement Home. We saw such a huge game too. And suddenly it's become crashing down as Retirement Home. They haven't gotten worse. In fact, they've been playing an exceptional game of Rocket League. But Legacy Esports, they've gotten better. Retirement Home have one last play.
That was their opportunity to get back into this game, and it might be all she wrote. That was Daze missing that one, and Legacy Esports, what a series.
What a play to finish off. Legacy Esports finding that goal. And that series was so much bigger than I expected it to be. Retirement Home have improved since the OCE Open
so
series.
Have Legacy. They really stepped up in this series, even beyond that last series they played where they really dominated over Legs are Silly. They stepped it up because Retirement Home forced them to.
That game 2 is one of my all-time favorite games I've ever watched of Rocket League, forever and always. Oh my god!
I don't think we've seen Retirement Home in that form. I think that was a new Retirement Home that has not performed that well since, I guess, ever. Since
that was beautiful. Game 2, oh my god.
I think we really need to see Daze step up a little bit more on that offense. He had some really brilliant moments.
Yeah.
And if he was able to capture that throughout the series, that could have been Retirement Home's series just based off his ability to really go big.
No, I agree with you, especially in that last game. They had over half the game where they had most of the possession, and if they're not scoring when you have a player like Daze who is confusing at the worst of times and terrifying at the best, you should be able to get the goals off that.
Yeah.
Look, if I had to be, very biased towards one player, I feel like I really don't know with Legacy Esports. If you're looking at like a contender by own by HP, would you start thinking maybe Siki in that series, or for you would it be Sirix? Like maybe I was going towards.
I don't know.
I don't
All
have a standout.
Three of them were just so good at
Yeah.
different points in time. I think if you're just going to base it, like you almost just have to base it based off like their score on the scoreboard, which you'd say is Siki. But Sirix, I think when you talk about stepping up, I would
The most
probably
growth.
give it to him.
Well, I think all three members deserve
Yeah.
to be praised. Legacy Esports, it's not a 3-0, but they've had a very convincing day and are looking to be one of our top teams at the moment. They are one of our top.
I was terrified, right? In Siki's games, he had 5 shots minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum 5 shots.
insane.
Which is just stupid. And then Sirix had that game where he had the 4 saves that would like do or die in overtime. Each one of those individually was an amazing save, but the fact is like consecutively saving the day. And then just Delusion was the glue that kind of filled in every position.
The funny thing is, you can kind of say the exact same thing about the retirement home players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had Elusive who was making all those saves, got a ton of awesome passes. He was the glue and the rock on which the roster was built. Kia was beautiful in defense. He was always willing to let his teammates push up. And Daze did have brilliant offensive moments.
They really did, and it gives us 2 more teams to keep our eyes on, and especially in the coming weeks. League play is going to heat up. However, we have 1 more series for you left today, and those are our 2 teams who haven't played. Tainted Minds will be taking on Jam Gaming after this short 5-minute break.